I want to just give a very brief overview of Alpha Lambda Delta. So again, I know that our audience today is outgoing and incoming. So if you're outgoing, hopefully you've had some experiences with Alpha Lambda Delta for the past year or more. Be very interested in hearing any advice you have when we do the breakout sessions and when we process those. So keep in mind any tips and ideas you have. But if you're incoming, you might be really new to Alpha Lambda Delta. Maybe you just got inducted a month ago or a week ago, or this semester at some point, and so you might be really fairly new to Alpha Lambda Delta. So I'll be brief. If you as an officer team ever want to talk more about Alpha Lambda Delta and meet together as an officer team, we can go more in depth. I'd be happy to do that at a time that worked for everybody. Again, very quickly, the history, we're going to talk about our pillars. I'm going to talk a little bit about a year in the life of an ALD chapter officer. And most importantly, make sure that you're aware of all the resources that we have for you that we've developed and get some ideas if there's anything missing. So we are very, very excited about our history, in particular this year, because we were founded 100 years ago. So this is our centennial. I don't know if any of when we first started chapter, so Southern, I know is here. If you're a newer chapter, or even if you're an older one, I wonder if you have your charter. So the tradition for Alpha Lambda Delta is to have all the founding members' names drawn in calligraphy on a charter that is hanging somewhere on campus. So hopefully you have seen yours from 100 years ago, or well, Purdue would be almost 100 years ago. Maybe 50 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, maybe this year. So this is the original charter. That's our founder's name, Mariah Leonard. And this was the very first one at the University of Illinois. So again, we are 100, pretty excited about that. Mariah Leonard was our founder. She was the Dean of Women. And our first chapter after that was at Purdue, and I believe there are some Purdue folks here. So since 1926, we've been growing, and now we are over, I think it's another slide, over 400 chapters now. I just really like the old-fashioned, the old stuff, the archives. So I just thought I'd show you a picture of the pin. This is the current pin, modeled after our crest. But these were the early drawings when they were first developing what our logo and the flame and the pin and all of that. This was some of the early drawings, which I thought was pretty cool. And this is some of Mariah Leonard's writing when she was first developing the Honor Society. They came up with this motto: they will pass our torches on one to another. It's really designed after the Olympics and Olympic Games, with the flame, running with the flame and all of that. That's sort of the historical influence and motivation and inspiration, I should say, for Alpha Lambda Delta. Our conference convention goes way back. We've been certified by ACHS since 1939. We give out a lot of scholarships that started in the 40s. I talked a little bit about the growth. I don't know if y'all knew that Alpha Lambda Delta was just for women. The Dean of Women in 1924, back then, that's how organizations were formed. But in the 1970s, they had to become co-ed. So men have been joining since 1976. I'm going to talk about the Order of the Torch Award. That would be a great goal. If you are a new officer coming in for next year, please remember the Order of the Torch. Keep that in mind. We'll talk about it. It's an award you can apply for that it takes thinking about for the whole year, because it's a scrapbook you're going to put together, but we'll talk about that. I am about to announce the nominations are open for Advisor of the Year. So please give that, outgoing and incoming, please give this some thought. I'll email everybody, and I think by the end of next week, give some thought to your advisor if you want to nominate them. Our Advisor of the Year award is nominated pretty exclusively by chapter officers. It's not anything we do at the national level or the board. We get the nomination straight from you. So give that some thought. We currently are well above 1.3 million lifetime members now. So I mentioned there's 400 chapters. We have 2 international chapters. Would love to see that grow. I think Chris is here and newly on the board. I believe you said you have an interest in that, so I'm gonna take you up on that, Chris, and have you help us charter new international chapters. In case you were wondering, how many students join Alpha Lambda Delta? Approximately 22,000. It varies year to year. Certainly since COVID, it went down a bit. But that's how many join approximately each year. We're led by a headquarters office where Danielle and I work, and then there is a board of directors. I think there might even be some board members here. So we often, well, every year have at least one student position open on our board of directors. 2 of them are here today, Abiha and Chris. You'll meet them in a minute. But give some thought to that. If you are interested in getting really super involved in Alpha Lambda Delta, next year you could apply for one of our student members at large. Hopefully you know about all our scholarships. The scholarship season, application season anyway, has really come to a close this year. There might be some applicants here with us, I'm not sure. But we do give almost 100 scholarships. I think that's going to grow this summer when the board meets to add more scholarships. And then we do give a lot of awards and recognitions. I mentioned Order of the Torch. The Alpha Lambda and Delta chapter awards are based on your membership increases. And then I mentioned Advisor of the Year. Okay, so let us, anything in chat? Oh, okay, there's more intros. Okay. Danielle, just feel free to interrupt me at any time.
Will
if
do.
Something comes in chat.
Okay.
Has my video been off this whole time? Oh, well, sorry. Okay, so let's talk about pillars. So we have been developing this idea of pillars for a couple of years now, and I think it's been very, very helpful for chapter officers and advisors for that matter. But this idea of giving you some guidance, some ideas and guidance about what Alpha Lambda Delta is all about, and so to help inform what a chapter can look like on your campus. So everybody gets a 3.5, a 3.6, 3.8 GPA. They get invited to join Alpha Lambda Delta. For a lot of students, it's just something maybe they want to put on their resume. But particularly for chapters, student leaders who step up like you all have, and we are so grateful that you have stepped up to take on a leadership role, is what are you supposed to do now? So now what? Some of you have traditions. I know IUPI has a lot of traditions. Purdue, some chapters participating today. You have a good sense of what the chapter does, but some of you, and hopefully still you can get some ideas during the summit as well. But for chapters also who don't have that long history of having activities and programs and events on your campus, we've developed these pillars to really help guide you. And these are the 5 really core values of Alpha Lambda Delta. This is why we exist. This is why you were invited to join. This is why you're here. So we really want to put a lot of effort into articulating the pillars and giving you ideas for how you can take that pillar and do something with it in your own way on your campus as a program, an event, something like that. Okay. So the first one is academics. We are an academic honor society. That's our core. Academics are important. You all did really well your first semester or your first year. And so the idea is that how can Alpha Lambda Delta as a chapter, as a national organization, and as your local chapter, help encourage you and your members and students in general to continue to do well. So you have a great foundation. You did really well. You don't get kicked out. Oh, I always say that to students because that's one of the questions about joining. Like, well, what happens if I don't continue to get that 3.5 or whatever? You're a member for life. You met the eligibility when you got invited. So you maintain that membership so you don't get kicked out or nothing happens if you don't continue to achieve a 3.5 or higher. but you are encouraged to do so. And maybe it's a goal, maybe you want to have a goal of graduating with a cumulative 3.5 or higher. So again, the premise is that Alpha Lambda Delta is an active chapter on your campus, can and should really be helping to promote academic excellence, supporting each other and inspiring the next group of first year students. You know, give them a lot of motivation in the fall when they had just started. You don't know if they're going to get invited yet because they just started, but based on how well they do their first semester, they could become future members. So this can take the form of all sorts of ideas. I would love to even see in chat right now if you do anything around the academic pillar. So study nights are a big one. A lot of your chapters have every Tuesday at 7, bring your laptop, bring your textbooks. We're gonna get a room in the library and we're just gonna hang out and we're gonna have food, gotta have food, have snacks. But study nights are popular. Bring in someone from the library to talk about studies, or someone from maybe Academic Skills Center or some tutoring possibly, to talk about academic skills, test taking strategies, test prep, study skills, that sort of thing. The library can also, librarians and anyone who works in the library can also be a great resource for programming around this pillar. One topic I'd really encourage you to post on your campuses for the chapter and for members and open it up to the whole campus community is maybe start talking about AI and ChatGPT and how to ethically use it or how to use it legally to help you write papers or research papers or something like that. So again, time management workshops is a great one because that very much impacts academics. Sleep programs around sleep, the importance of sleep. It's sleep, healthy sleep habits are often very much linked to academic success. So that might be an interesting program. So if you're doing anything around academics, I would love to, if you want to drop something in chat for what your chapter works on. Oh, forgot there's another slide on this. One of the most popular activities that Alpha Lambda Delta chapters engage in is during finals. So there could be all sorts of things you could do every year during finals, stress relief activities, a lot of chapters like to give away little candy bags, catching people studying, make sure it's branded with ALD, the bubble things that you pop, again, stress relief, and pet therapy, go to a shelter, maybe bring in some dogs for stress relief, massages in the student union lobby, 15-minute neck massages or something like that. So helping students, especially for high achieving, your members might be, everybody's a high achieving student because they're in an honor society. So you don't want students to be so stressed out that, well, stress is not good. So try and help students relieve that stress. Great, Ashanti, thank you for that. And that's another pillar, but there's a lot of overlap in our pillars because academics and career development, professional development, that's great. One of our pillars in a minute is career development, so that's a good one for that one too. But thank you for sharing that. Okay, academics. The next one is scholarships, and scholarships with an S, because scholarship can sometimes mean academic, but this is it's about the money. We would like all of you here to win as much money as possible. We would like Alpha Lambda Delta members to go after and identify and apply for as much money as they can get. And ALD can be a great resource for that. And that could be a really cool niche kind of program you offer once a year or every semester on your campus, is how to help your members, you and your members, win scholarship money. So this can take, again, the form of lots of different ideas. Bring in somebody from your campus who can speak to this, the director of financial aid, or maybe you have a scholarship office. A lot of universities do. Talk to your advisor. Somebody on your campus, I bet, can speak to this. But so you're just host an event, some random night, have snacks again, invite everybody to it, and have the topic be, where do you find scholarships to apply for? How do you write a really impactful essay? Come with your laptops and practice writing essay answers. How to ask for a really good letter of reference. Those are heavily weighted. And if you are not skilled, if you're, you in the general sense, if your members don't really know who to ask or how to ask or what they're supposed to write, all those things that go into applying for and successfully winning scholarship money, that's a pillar because we want you to go after that money. There's a lot given away, millions and millions of dollars and a variety of scholarships, not to mention our own. So you should be having an event at least, maybe in the fall every year that talks about our scholarships. Bring us in if you want. We've got videos on YouTube. But we offer, as I mentioned earlier, 98 or so scholarships, and your members and you should be applying for those as well. If there's anybody that does anything around scholarships, let us know if you have ideas there. So that is the second pillar. And let me just do a time check. Am I doing okay? I think I better speed up. Okay. Service is our third one. Hopefully self-explanatory, but serving others, giving back. This is a very popular type of activity your chapter and you as student leaders in your chapter could be programming. We do offer a theme every year. This past year, it's been mental health, but your service projects can be anything you want them. Raking leaves for the elderly, soup kitchens, building a house for Habitat for Humanity, canned food drives, clothing drives, animal shelters, nursing homes, after school literacy, river cleanups, whatever you're passionate about, poll your members, do a survey, ask what they want to do. Maybe there's something important to your community, to your neighborhood. There's something across the street or something on campus. So our chapters should be engaged in service, and maybe you even have a service chair position that might be here. Homeless supply drive for our local homeless shelter. That's awesome, Abia. Thank you. Yeah. So the sort of super easy things to do that you can engage the whole campus with in terms of donations. So again, and by the way, if I haven't mentioned this yet, these pillars and these ideas and types of programs, you're not required to do 6 of these and 2 of these, and we don't, there's not a requirement, at least from the national headquarters. So I don't want you to be overwhelmed by all these pillars and these ideas. If you just pick one thing, especially if you're just starting out, pick 1 or 2 things for this semester and build off that. Again, we've got a variety of chapters here. And again, I know I'm going to but highlight IUPUI because there's so many of you here, but that's a chapter that does a lot of programming. But I don't want to overwhelm the other chapters who don't do programs once a week. Step into it and ease into it if you're a newer group of officers or a new chapter. And let it grow. Okay, so here's the career development one. This is the 4th one, and this includes leadership development as well. So we would love for the Alpha Lambda Delta chapter at your campus to just be advancing the idea of developing career readiness skills in your members. Again, this includes all of you as well as student leaders, but what can you do with your group of members to engage them in topics and skill development areas that will help them grow? So first thing is talk to your career development center. As Ashanti said, you've got career pretty much. I'm not sure that there's a university in the country that doesn't have a career center. So it might not be called that, but there's somebody on your campus that they're very much invested in wanting your graduates of your university to do well in their career. So you have career centers, use them. They're full of experts that can talk about career, resume writing, cover letters, how to find an internship, all sorts of topics that might be popular among your members or really help them develop skills. Headshot photography is a popular ALD program. Some of you might have done that. Maybe just find a photography major in your whatever department that would be, comms or finance or something. Somebody who's studying photography, or hire a company that comes in and does headshots. But that's a popular activity. Students get dressed up from the neck up and get their photograph taken for LinkedIn or whatever use. And I do want to point out our ALD LEED certified. So if you are not already familiar with that, I would strongly encourage you to participate in it. It comes with your membership, and it is an online self-paced leadership development program. And it's 12 modules. And if you complete 10 out of the 12 of your choice and let me know about that, you'll get a national certification. You'll be nationally certified, and your name gets on our website. Okay. Oh, that's a great one, Jasmine. Thank you. So workshops on how to get ready for interviews, how to set up LinkedIn accounts, and how to dress up for career fairs. That is so great. Yeah. How to get ready for interviews. You're gonna use that skill for the rest of your life. Like that's a great skill to have. How to answer questions, have some questions ready to answer, and how to ask questions, and yep, LinkedIn, all that great stuff. Thank you. Okay. Last but not least is belonging. And this has stemmed from our commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. We want Alpha Lambda Delta to be an inclusive community, to be inclusive as a chapter on your campuses. We want students to feel once they join that they belong to something, to build community within your chapter. And one of the biggest things that this can mean that I think is super important for everybody to hear, especially again, high achieving students, perhaps stressed about that Alpha Lambda Delta, in our opinion, as a chapter on your campus, can and should be just fun. Like it can be fun, and you can have social things. It doesn't, when you get together, when you want to plan a program with your chapter, it doesn't always have to have a subject. It doesn't always have to be something serious and how to learn something new, or it can just be a social event where you're getting together just for the sake of that. That's all. Ice cream socials are very big, as you can see in that picture. Go to sporting events together, take a hike or a walk around campus, or if there's some famous or well-known trail nearby, for those who are able. Game nights are big, bingo, do things with prizes and incentives. Are very popular, especially since COVID. So Alpha Lambda Delta can just be, again, for high achieving, maybe stressed students, it's just nice to have something where they just don't have to think about anything serious, and can just have fun. So don't forget to have fun. Okay. So again, we've been doing that throughout. Thank you. If you have more ideas, we do have, did you already do the chapter ideas one? There we go.
Just share.
So, and I'm going to talk about that, I think, in the resource. Oh, here it is. Hey, look at that. Oh my gosh, what timing. So Danielle just put in chat this page. So just want to draw your attention. This is actually just a screenshot of it, but we do have this page called the ideas page. So this is what other chapters are doing. Some of you might be here today and have be included on this website. These are examples from Torch scrapbooks. So remember I talked about that Order of the Torch Award that chapters can apply for. These are snippets from the Torch Awards. So these are award-winning chapters and the kinds of things that they're doing, and you'll see it broken out into different topics like academics. It mirrors most of the pillars, and then adds a few more things like point systems and member recruitment. And we already did the pillars page. Yep.
Yes.
I haven't been keeping up, I'm sure you're on it. Okay. So, okay, breakout soon. All right, let me just fly through some of this other stuff. So I talked a little bit about the year in the life. So just some things to think about throughout the year. So this is perfect timing. This is why we want to do a spring April summit, is to get you thinking about the future. So be thinking about the summer. So the summer is a key time when Alpha Lambda Delta can be promoted at orientation, move-in days. Talk to your advisors or your orientation offices. Are they doing, does every student during summer orientation get a little, like a tote bag full of stuff? And can you put some of our material in there? How to promote Alpha Lambda Delta to, again, motivate students to do well academically so that they'll get invited. It's super important to make sure that Alpha Lambda Delta is promoted, even to students who who don't know if they're eligible. So I've said that before, but ALD can be promoted in the summer and fall, just again as a motivator, even if they might never get invited. Doesn't hurt, because it's just a good way to get our name out there. So when they do get invited, they've heard of Alpha Lambda Delta before. The fall months, laying the groundwork for, again, promoting Alpha Lambda Delta in our name. You could do a fall newsletter if you wanted, but tabling in the student union lobby or academic building or the library. Make sure that you are aware of your online presence. So if you have not Googled the chapter before, I just strongly encourage you to do that, or at least search it in your university's website and make sure that there's not an outdated website. Or I tell this story all the time about, there is a chapter, I don't think they're here today. One of our chapters has 4 Instagram accounts dating back to like 2017, because they started one and then nobody shared the login credentials. And so it was like gone, but it's still there, but nobody could get at it, access it. And so they started a new one, and then it happened again and again. And now there are 4 Instagram accounts for one of our chapters. So that's not great. Try and make sure you're sharing credential access year to year. We'll have fall speed summits again. I know IUPUI does this a lot in the fall, is present ALD at first year seminars. Oh my gosh, that's outdated. Huh. I didn't catch that, you guys. Ignore that. Leadership conference. Oops. It is the next weekend after that. If you want to put that in chat. So it's in Chicago. Oh, I've updated so much on this PowerPoint, but not that. So ignore that. So it is Chicago, Illinois, October 25, 6, 7, I want to say. Yeah, 2024. Spring, again, this is when students are invited to join. You can host info sessions. There's going to be an induction ceremony. Think about applying for student member at large. All of our applications are due in the spring for scholarships. So that is sort of a spring thing. I'm going to move ahead here. We love pictures. We're trying to add more pictures to our website, and social media in general. We have pretty active Instagram. If you are not already following us on Instagram, that would be great if you could. In fact, we are going to post a prompt for a prize giveaway. I know not everybody is on Instagram or has an Instagram account, so you'll still be able to enter that drawing, but we'd love a follow at National ALD on Instagram. You want to put that in chat too, our Instagram link?
Yes. And the post is there, so it's ready for us.
Okay. Oh, it's already there. Okay. Officer resources. Oh, I was going to talk about that. Did the officer? Oh, Instagram. Okay. Can you also put in, sorry, we're putting a lot of links for you in chat. You might have already done it, but maybe do it again. Just the officer landing page. Okay, great. So I'm not going to go to the website myself, but just grab that bookmark or grab it and bookmark it. But we do have an officer's resource page, like a landing page there that she just put in chat. So there's our social media.
So this past week, if any of you do follow our social media, I put a poll up on our Instagram asking what if anything you all might be using for group communication. So the two ones that we're really sort of mainly considering right now is GroupMe and WhatsApp, but open to other suggestions too. And so that poll has ended, and GroupMe is the leader across all of our social media polls that we did. But if anyone has any recommendations or a different platform that you prefer, welcome to share that, and we'll be exploring that this summer. The best opportunity or platform for us to use to better engage with you all as officers, and also an opportunity for the Fall Leadership Conference as a way for those attending to be able to communicate in a larger group prior to, during the conference, and then